Hello and welcome back to I Am Future. It's been quite a while since we last took a look at this game, but there was an update released recently, and I wanted to talk about that update, show you a couple of the things that were changed, most of them for the better, and see what else was new in the game. So, first of all, there were a couple of changes to the way that the quest system worked and the achievement system works, so that those people who were playing through the game, who were having problems with completing some of the quests and or getting some of the achievements when they clearly completed it correctly, those have now been fixed. I think what is unclear is whether or not you have to start the game again to get those that you've already passed by in terms of the achievements, or if you can get them just by loading the game. And maybe it varies achievement by achievement, so we're gonna we'll leave that one open for we'll see what happens, kind of a question. And then the next thing, the major thing in this update is Plexiglas, and we're going to talk about that at the end, or after the rest of the stuff, because it's going to be the most involved part of this. The next thing is here at the tier 2 garden beds, the ones that are electrical. They now have 2 electrical connectors, which means that you can daisy chain them together. So no need to have this ridiculous setup of electrical poles. One pole should be sufficient as long as you daisy chained all of the pots together. So this can easily be cleaned up, in the future. Pun intended. I just haven't cleaned it up yet because I wanted to talk about it. Also, the backpack that's flying around behind us here should no longer interfere with construction. So we were having problems before where we were trying to build like something large, like the bathtub here, the charging station, and we just couldn't get the backpack to get out of the way so that we could build the thing. That should be fixed now, so we can take care of that. You can take care of that if you're at that point. You shouldn't have that problem anymore. And kind of subsequent to that, if you remember when we were building these barricades, we could not build them next to each other at the same time. It would let us build one, and then it would let us place the hologram for one. And then when we would place the next one, it wouldn't let us place it right next to it. And that's been fixed. You can now have 2 holograms next to each other. So that shouldn't be a problem anymore either. The automatic sprinkler, or rather the bucket's behavior in general, has been updated and fixed. So now when you have the bucket in hand, and I've got it in hand with fresh water, you can click once on the automated sprinkler, and it'll add the entire contents of the bucket into the sprinkler. And also, when you click once on the pump bucket here, it will fill the bucket to full automatically. And desalinating was always one click, but then we can do that and fill it up completely, because the bucket only holds 3 charges, or 3 units of water. So obviously it only filled up halfway with that first click, but we can more easily now fill up the bucket with water and with salt water, and then empty it into the sprinkler much easier as well. There's also a new avatar of the character down here in the HUD, and it's 3-dimensional, and it reflects the hat, facial appearance, and shirt that you are wearing. Before it was kind of just a generic, static, fixed portrait, I think, but now it's an active 3D avatar of the actual character you have. When you're in menus like the fishing, the digital storage, the fish cutting, that's like here, the filleting, and the cook mode, that's here, the chef mode, you can right-click the items you want to add them into it. Although that put them in my inventory. So put it down here. Right-clicking automatically puts the items here in your inventory, rather than having to drag and drop them into the spot. So that's kind of a little savior, although it did drop them into here before we could put them into the spot, so it's not quite perfect, but it's, I think, better. And the same thing we should be able to do here with the seafood to cut. Oh, that's not actually the seafood. So the raw fish to cut into the seafood, that you can right-click from your inventory to drop it onto the cutting board. And also, recipes show the satiety here of the food, so you can decide what you want to make based on how much they actually take care of you. This is a satiety component, not the health component, not the heart component. So like the energy bar has the 50 health and the 30 satiety. But up here it just shows the satiety. It doesn't show the health component. So just keep that in mind there, and that's a nice little change so that you can see what you're making, what you're going to get when you make it, rather than having to know or having to have at least one in your inventory so you can see what it is. And along that same line, mushrooms should also show the negative health from if you ate them. So yeah, don't eat the mushrooms. Although it's interesting that they don't show that information here in the storage. They only show it in your inventory. So keep that in mind as well. One other major change is when you're fishing, the game time is no longer paused. So keep that in mind, that the game will keep going as you're fishing, which means that you'll want to stop fishing and eat every so often. You want to stop and maybe come up here and deal with this stuff at night. If you don't have barricades and UV ray thingies, you may need to come up here and deal with things at night. But just kind of keep that in mind. They also said they improved minion pathfinding. However, I saw, as I was reading that part of the patch notes, that these two here were faced at each other. Hao was faced in trying to drive this direction, and Leah was faced in trying to drive in this direction, and they were pushing up against each other, as we've seen before, and they weren't able to move, and they weren't able to path around each other, so the pathfinding could still use a little bit more work, in my opinion, but they've allegedly fixed it so that the minions don't get stuck over on the other rooftops or anything like that anymore. So hopefully that is the case, and at least that helps performance a little bit. So we also have these two over here. Are you two stuck and confused as well? No, you're just camped out. Okay. So the last thing, or the first thing, the big thing, was plexiglass, and we're going to talk about that. The first thing you have to do is go in here to your blueprints and actually craft the blueprint for it, because otherwise, well, you won't be able to make plexiglass storage. And then we can go into the blueprints here, of course, go to the support, which is the storage, and be able to build a plexiglass storage, one or more plexiglass storages. I think I want to put it like this maybe, and I'm going to put it over here. I gave 2 spaces there, so we'll give 2 spaces here, and we'll put that down. It takes 1 metal sheet and 2 pipes to build. Our 2 builders, 1 builder should be able to come over here and take care of that. We could add somebody else to the building team instead of the collectors team. That might be a good idea there. Hopefully you will come and help. Will you come and help? Come on, how? Oh, I didn't confirm it. That's on me. There you are. Although, I think probably Olivia already had that job. So actually, you know what? I lied. You stay on Collector, because as soon as this gets built, we're going to have a huge pile of plexiglass to store up. In theory. Wait, aren't you going to collect the plexiglass? Apparently they don't collect the plexiglass. Well, that's not good. They should collect the plexiglass just as they collected the other. The wood and the metal. So if the player has to do this, that's not nearly as good as bots doing it. That, or the bots are confused and or stuck, and we could test that out as well. Close that, please. Thank you. Bots, and it was how? Yes. Let's move the minion just to reset it. And we can do the same with the other one. Oh, we got to set the role now. Yep. How? Configure and collector. Thank you. Confirm. Yeah, you're not moving. All right, let's grab the other collector just to verify here. Ekaterina. Put you over here. Just to verify, because I want to know if it's weird. And then we'll set your role as collector also. Okay, so yeah, they aren't putting away the plexiglass, which is interesting, and I hope that they change that so that the collectors will pick up the plexiglass off the ground and put it away. Because, I mean, when you're when you're playing through, and you'd leave all this stuff on the ground, and you would hope that your minions would come and collect that. But apparently, the answer to that question is no. So let's put a couple more in here, and probably give them one more to build, because we have a huge pile of this to store up. So, you know, even though the bots aren't going to do it, the Wally bot still needs to do it. So, oh, of course, you're in the way too. Can I get you to move somehow? I guess not without moving you. Alright. That's disappointing too. You should be able to get those bots to move somehow or other. So hopefully they fix that as well. But this is basically what I wanted to show as part of this episode. Just kind of show the new stuff, what's been changed, and what might still be broken. And then hopefully we can get a new update here pretty soon, and have a have some new content, some new playable content. A new rooftop would be nice, or something along that line, so that we can, you know, come back to the game and participate in it a little bit more. Wait, where is... Oh, you're probably going to charge. Yeah, but you're running out of fuel now. Yeah, they're being weird. They're definitely being weird. Alright, well, I'll fill that up for now, and then hopefully you'll come back and take care of it before you run out of power completely. That would be nice. But we'll see. So we're going to leave this here, and next time we come back to the game, it'll probably be a little while yet, but we'll hopefully have a new version of the game to explore and try out. So thank you all for joining me, and I will see you then. Bye for now.